Buy Bitcoin today or wait and buy the Coinbase IPO? The rumor is that Coinbase, the cryptocurrency exchange, has started implementing plans for a stock market listing. In this video, I'm going to tell you the 7 things you need to know about the Coinbase IPO. We're going to cover when it could happen, the financials, the people and key metrics, and much, much more, all coming right up. People often ask me, how do I buy Bitcoin? Well, one way to do it is to use a cryptocurrency exchange like Coinbase. You just log into Coinbase via their website or app and you buy it online. I've included a link in the description below where you can get $10 for free. There's no catches, it's easy to sign up, and yes, you can even buy Bitcoin with Visa. So back to the Coinbase IPO. The very first thing you need to know is the date. Now, it's speculated that the Coinbase IPO could occur in 2021, although the company has not registered its intention to go public. While we've heard rumours of a potential IPO in late 2020, that really doesn't make sense to me due to the US election. Now, post the election, we may see an all-time high on NASDAQ, so it makes more sense to do it then. Now, we have a rough date, so what's the second thing we need to know? Well, people. Paul Grewal, the Deputy General Counsel at Facebook, joined Coinbase in July. Now, prior to Facebook, he was a former US magistrate judge in California. So this is what Paul had to say about joining Coinbase. He came to understand their vision of a global, open, worldwide financial system. He was impressed by the team and their commitment in executing on that vision and making a reality. And he just said that he had to be a part of it. He joined the company right there and then. So in addition to Paul, 2 new industry leaders have joined the board. This is amazing. This is fantastic. Mark Andreessen. Now, people like me who have been around for a while know of Mark as one of 2 programmers who created the first web browser, Mosaic, back in 1993. This led to another company you may have heard of, Netscape. Now, Mark runs a leading VC firm, Andreessen Horowitz, and he's also been joined by Gokul Rajaram, who's a board member of Pinterest and an executive at DoorDash. Now, with any IPO, you'd expect some more hires, jobs advertised, etc., and it simply hasn't happened yet. So it appears this is still in its very early stages. Now, what's the third thing you need to know? Well, financials. What do they look like? Well, here's Coinbase's funding history, a very, very interesting read. In April 2013, 6.1 million, all the way down to October 2018, 525 million. A lot of cash. Total funding to date, $529 million. And their valuation at their last round was 8.06 billion, up from 1.6 billion in the summer of 2017. Now that tells me that VCs are going to want to see their return sometime soon, because that's a lot of cash to pour into a company. So speaking of cash, the number 4 thing you need to know is revenue. Now, we don't know much about Coinbase's recent profitability or revenue, but what we do know is this. They crossed $1 billion in 2017. In 2018, they predicted 1.3 billion in revenue, but apparently that didn't happen. Now, it was also reported that the revenue in 2018 was 520 million, and that was an estimate provided by Reuters based on a UK corporate filing. Now, this indicates that Coinbase reportedly saw non-US revenue grow 20% to 153 million euros or 173 million US. Now, while these aren't official numbers, they're the best we have based on the available evidence, and you can read more on that Coinbase UK filing, and I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, taking a step back and looking at the big picture, I look at it this way. Given the leveling out and sideways movement in cryptocurrency over 2019, plateauing, slight increase in 2020, it would make sense that Coinbase needs some more cash. And an IPO or direct listing in late 2021 would be the best way for VCs to get a return on their investment. Now, the big elephant in the room here is Bitcoin. If Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin rallies, it's predicted post-halving, then Coinbase stands to make a lot of money. So what's the fifth thing you need to know? Well, that's key metrics. So let's look at some stats. Let's delve in right now. 35 million users, 220 billion traded, 7 billion in custody, 1,000 employees, 100 plus countries. In terms of growth, we know that Coinbase was signing up 50,000 users a day back in the heyday of 2018. Now, how many users they're signing up now is really anyone's guess. I suspect it's going to be a fraction of that, given 2018 was an all-time high in cryptocurrency. Now, let's turn our attention to current cryptocurrency offerings and look at how much room they've got to grow. Well, when you compare Coinbase to their competitors, such as Binance, surprisingly, Coinbase does not have a very extensive range of cryptocurrency. While there are literally hundreds of cryptocurrencies, the Coinbase platform currently has a selection of just 27 coins. 27. That's not a lot of coins at all. Now, about half those coins are currently in the top 20 by market cap, so there's definitely room for them to grow and expand their offering. Now, in fact, they could easily double their offering without too much of a problem. And given what's required to integrate cryptocurrency with an exchange, I'd expect a very slow, controlled rollout over time. It's also important to note that when a coin is listed in Coinbase, you need to see a lot of publicity, a lot of positive sentiment from the market, and that's one area to keep a close eye on if you're looking to invest in it. Now, to summarize, there's a huge growth opportunity in Coinbase, so it's definitely one to watch. So what's the sixth thing you need to know? How are they going to list? IPO or direct listing? Now, one source is reported as saying that they may not do a traditional IPO, an initial public offering. They may go public via a direct listing. Now, this could make sense as current investors could sell their shares effectively. They wouldn't be tied up in escrow. So if they do list on the market, you can expect a bunch of VCs to sell off, hopefully at a profit. Right now, though, it's reported that Coinbase is owned in part by these and many other VC firms. So now we're at number 7. We're getting through it. What's the final thing you need to know? Well, what do we do now? What happens next? In all of this, it requires the blessing of the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or the SEC. Now, the SEC needs to approve the deal, and if they do, such a massive approval would be widely regarded as a landmark victory for cryptocurrency, demonstrating mainstream adoption. So following on from that, we need to wait for the S1 filing. Now, this is a document which offers a rare insight into Coinbase's business. It contains financial and other information used to justify going public. For those people asking, what would I invest in? Well, that largely depends on the S1 filing. And it also depends on how much you believe in Bitcoin. Will it get back to $20,000 before Coinbase lists? Or will it go to $50K? Or as some people predict, a $1 million Bitcoin? So the question really is, in this digital gold rush, do you want to own a part of a company that provides miners with gold pans, or do you want to mine for gold yourself? So let me know your thoughts. Are you thinking about investing in Coinbase? If so, type invest in the comments below. And how high do you think Bitcoin could go? Do you think it'll be back at $20,000 in 2021? If so, put 20K in the comments. I'm Simon Johnson. Thanks for watching.